So, hello guys, and welcome to Melon podcast. It's me, your host, Kerd O, and my other host,
Delali.
and it's the great privilege to be in your home, on your phone, on your every device that you listen to us. Thank you guys for always listening, streaming, doing everything you want with our podcast and just listening. Very, very much appreciate you guys. So without wasting time or doing anything, let's head straight to today.
Today.
We're just going to run down things. Over the weekend, what happened during the Easter festivity, and it's seriously mind blowing. Doing stuff on social media. Wait. So my listeners, anyway, if some of you are not quite, they should center more on like where we are from. So let me say Africa in general. Delali, what topic did you hear during the let me say when the East mind blowing to you?
So, the festivity was for me. It wasn't really eventful. I didn't really do a lot. However, I feel what actually made it interesting for me was the happenings on social media. I feel the festivity started quite early on Twitter. On Twitter, to be precise, there were a lot of trending things were happening. Things
were happening. Things happened.
I think it started either on Thursday or Wednesday, with the Zanzibar issue.
Yeah, that hotel thing.
Yeah,
and seriously, for me, that PR thing that they are doing, that the hotel is doing, is quite, let me say, it's ill-fated on their part. Because how can you just, when the girl posted that thing, you guys came to just tweet that, okay, like, you guys will check up on it, and this has been like pressing issues that you guys have been getting from most of your tourists come to stay there. And later, you come 360 and come and say, the girl was rather forcing herself or something. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, so according to the hotel's Facebook page, according to what they posted on their page on Facebook, they turned around to say that the lady was trying to extort $10,000 from them. So in other words, what they said was they acknowledged that it happened. They actually acknowledged that what the ladies said actually happened, and then also they accepted that yes, they went to the police, and then the police did a little bit of investigation, and then arrived that because even though there was attempted rape, because the guy whoever the rapist didn't succeed, there wasn't any penetration, so the issue of rape was taken out. However, because the lady later on found out that her money had been stolen, then there was an issue of theft. So what the hotel sorted out to do was, to look for the culprits, and then also to find a way to bury the matter so that it wouldn't go out. But then, according to them, the lady requested for $10,000, which they felt was too much, considering the fact that the amount of money that was stolen was, I think, around $1,100 or $1,200. So if your money has been stolen, and then you are requesting for almost 100% of the amount, then it doesn't make sense. But then I feel what they were trying to do was, to act, in a way, deflect the matter, make it look as if the lady on the other hand was trying to take advantage of the matter. But then if you are running a hotel, and I come I book your hotel, and then I'm staying in your hotel, and then in the middle of the night, someone barges into or comes into my room, a room I have locked. Then it leaves your questions. How did the person get access into? How the person gets access to the room? Because according to the lady, she had locked her room, which means the person is either a worker or someone who has access to the spare keys and all that. So I feel they didn't do well. They didn't do well. What they could have done was to apologize and at least post an encouraging post or something that would at least make tempers go down, at least, so people would at least even see that they are making an effort. But then for you to turn around and make it look as if the lady is trying to extort money from you and all that was just not it. And funny enough, after the lady posted the thing on Twitter, within 24 hours, their review had dropped from 4.5 to 1 point something. And I think it's really served them. It serves them right. Next time you don't go about issues like that.
And for them, fortunately for them, you weak. And fortunately for them, there were other people stories about what like incidents that have happened to them at that hotel. And I'm like, because for me, I won't plan a trip to Zanzibar and go to that hotel. No, I don't need any drama. No.
That's the thing. And for you to have a review of 4.5, I think it shows that people actually use your hotel a lot. You get it?
Yeah.
So for you to have it reduced from 4.5 to 1 point something, I think it's quite sad. And business wise, it's sad. Now people will want to, will not want to book your hotel, or would not want to use your hotels anymore. And it's sad. It's sad. I feel it's sad. Even though it's sad, I feel they brought it upon themselves, because they could have gone about the whole issue. They could have gone about it, a whole different way, which would have resolved in a better way than this.
They should train their staff well.
Yeah, they should, and they should do a background check on their staff, because you can't run a hotel. You can't run a hotel with rapists. It's a dangerous mistake. Because next time, if you're unfortunate, and then, or not even unfortunate, if you're unlucky, and then you try that on someone who at least knows a bit of self-defense, come on, you know what will happen. You probably just end up, losing your life or something. Because someone, honestly, if someone tries that thing and I happen to chance on it, Masa, I'll break the person's neck, because you are trying to. These are issues affecting the society. You are trying to find ways to resolve them, or at least reduce them, and then you still come on. It's just not right. It's just not right, because these things. Yes. Please go on.
So, wait. So I wanted you to finish what you were saying. So, if you are done,
I feel rape. It leaves some sort of dents and some trauma on the victims. So I just feel it's just not right. It's just not right.
So to the other side of the world, let's go to America. So one thing I heard that I was like, what? How can he do that? Seriously, you can't cheat on Riri. You can't. Seriously, you can't cheat on Riri. Huh? Nah. So nah. Maybe he will. Maybe he might just take a little dip and slide and maybe around and just. Maybe he might just do it. So.
Well, okay. So personally, when I read it on Twitter, I didn't really believe it. Honestly, I just couldn't believe it. Not because I feel I know because I feel Rihanna is above cheating or something, or she's so beautiful or drop dead gorgeous that someone would not cheat on her. But then I just felt the whole story looked a certain way. You get it? And the timing of it also. For me, I didn't believe it. So I wasn't really surprised when later on it came out that it was all false and false news and whatnot. But then, come on. I saw people saying that if Rihanna has been cheated on, come on. It's not a big... Rihanna is... Even Beyonce was cheated on. How much more?
Yeah.
Princess Diana was cheated on. Diana. Whole Princess Diana. Princess of England was cheated on. So how much more Rihanna? Yes, she's beautiful.
Yeah, she's...
Then, come on. Men are not correct too. people just... Some men are just not correct. So listen, it doesn't really matter how beautiful or how successful or wealthy you are. If a man wants to cheat on you, the man will cheat. And that's why they keep saying that it takes a man who doesn't want to cheat not to cheat. It's all boiled down to the man and not how beautiful or good or wealthy the woman is.
But for her fans, many of them were like, nah, you can't cheat on their God or something. And I think for me, when I first saw that post, I was like, who is this girl? Who is this girl? This guy cheated, had that thing. And I was like, okay, she's just a normal girl. Okay. Then you could just read the comments and people and I'm like, okay, so let me say this will just be maybe just a leak or something. Maybe that website or wants maybe people to just talk or maybe crack open. So I was just reading it with with two thoughts. So I was like, okay, if it's false, maybe then, but if it's true, then this guy there, hey, ASAP, just like his name, he's just ASAP Rihanna.
But then, honestly, when I also read the story the first time, I didn't believe it. I knew there were some holes within the whole thing, so I actually didn't believe it. I wasn't really surprised when it came out to be false. But then, it doesn't change the matter that it doesn't change the fact that Rihanna is just like any other woman who can actually be cheated on. I think people need to understand that. Yes, she's beautiful and all that, but then it doesn't change anything.
So, let's say something about it. So, this Easter, I remember I told you about my plans being cancelled and all that. So, I had a chance to visit Nigeria this weekend. And surprisingly, I think my friend didn't book. He didn't get, let me just say, he forgot to book the ticket. So, it was just, I think he messaged me on Thursday that this Black Hole coming to perform my homecoming. And my friend, one of my friends, they have like a streetwear apparel that they sell. I'm sure if you heard Frida Youth Ghana. So they were like, So they were like, they will be going. I'm like, okay, I'll be going, but I'm not really sure. So when my friend was like, okay, how will I, if I'm to maybe come to Lagos for 2 days, and I'm like, okay, that would be so cool. So I told a friend of mine at work that seriously somewhere, and he's like, where? I'm like, I'm going outside. So he thought I'm going to Dubai, and like, no, I'm going to Nigeria. He's like, here in Nigeria, and I'm like, yeah. And so Friday night, I was told the ticket has been booked, but not knowing it booked. And I'm so pissed, and I was like, why? So how do you? And he's like, it's just change of thought plans and all that he had, and like no, Bola, you don't do something like that. Hey, I've prepped, I've packed everything. I was like, nah, I'll just go Friday and I'll be back to Ghana by Monday. So I have everything prepped up, and serious. And because of that, I couldn't maybe like most of my plans that I've planned out like for that weekend, and I had to cancel it all, and I had to be indoors and all that. So, Charlie, this Easter it wasn't very very good. I was just raining and all that, and I'm like, what? So, Black Hole just did the same Nigeria, and yeah, and you can see how people were so into his vibe and all that, and I'm like, actually, this guy is just breaking everywhere. He's just doing things that the 3Ss have not done. So, oh yeah, true.
Listen, so personally, I feel he has done really well. However, everything he has done is by virtue of the label he signed on now.
Yeah, Empire.
Exactly, Empire. They know the right strings to pull. They have the legs, they have the connection, and that's why I was really pissed. I was angry when his former manager came out and that he had betrayed him, and I was like, yo, listen, yes, maybe he has, maybe,
and his former manager taking him to court.
Yeah, and then saying that yes, maybe the way he went about the whole thing was not the right way. However, if we are being totally honest, the push Empire will be able to give action.
Yeah.
You can't. You don't have that reach. You don't have that reach if you are being totally honest. Look at what they have done to the song. Let me tell you, and that's why I keep saying that. A lot of times I feel the labels here or the gatekeepers here
they play too much.
Exactly, they are the reason why a lot of these young artists or most of these promising artists are not able to reach their maximum potentials, or they are not able to reach the outside market because they tend to block them. You understand? I feel personally, I don't know the relation between Black Sherif and his manager before the whole issue. However, I feel that the best thing he did for himself was leaving the label or leaving the management and then signing for Empire, because it has really helped him. It has taken his music to places he probably wouldn't have been able to reach if he had stayed under his former manager. So listen, for me, I am very happy. I'm very happy with the feats he has achieved, the heights he keeps climbing, and I just hope for the best for him. However, I keep hearing people saying that he has done what certain artists haven't been able to do. If we are being totally honest, the things for especially for not even just Sarkodie, even Sarkodie, Stonebwoy, and then Shatawale. These are people who are signed on to their own labels, so they are more like their own bosses. You understand? They do everything. They do everything by themselves and for themselves, without any help from no one. I understand that, yes, probably, of course, I want to believe that international labels may have contacted them and, probably wanted to, sign them on. But then sometimes what happens is, with these labels, especially with the international labels, when you sign on to them, if you are not careful, it's more like you selling yourself to them.
Yes, so, it's true.
After you had left the label, you don't even have rights to your own music. Songs you have written, songs you wrote yourself, you don't even have rights to them. You understand? And it even happened to almighty Michael Jackson when he left Sony Music. When he left Sony Music, he literally had nothing because they literally owned him.
Yes.
own him and his craft.
Yeah.
So he left with nothing. He had to start all over again. That's why I feel most of these people, a lot of times, don't want to get themselves involved in, with these international record labels and all that. But then you look at what Sarkodie, even Shatawale. I'm not really a fan of Shatawale. But then you look at the things they have done for themselves. I feel it's really commendable. I feel they have, even though they've not really hit their maximum potentials. I feel I have to admit that in a way limited themselves. But then also you have to give credit to them because I feel they have really done. They've done amazing for themselves. They have. It's just unfortunate that because we kind of had really high hopes and big expectations for them. Yes, they are still alive. They can still do more if they want to. But then, yes, if we are being totally honest, they won't be able to attain the heights Black Sherif has attained now. And
breaking records after records, and he's still number one on Niger Apple.
Yeah.
So
he has done well. Credit to him and the management. They have really done well.
So to our listeners, I'll give you, maybe you see the description below. You get a list of Black Sherif new song in the description, so you can check it out. So to the last topic, and this topic, I'm sorry to my listeners if you are not in Ghana. This topic is, or even Accra. This topic is straightly Accra, but you can listen. So, let me say on Sunday, I was on Snapchat, and I was there, and I was like, wow, okay. So, a friend of mine, he goes by the name, he's a broad guy, Game Boy. So, he and his friends were actually, let me say, when they have heard there's a guy who have sex with straight guys. He's a cross-dresser. So they actually wanted to confirm if it was really him, if it was a he or a she. So the story goes, they picked him up. They had a chat with him. He or she sat in their car. They drove around the city. It was like, he's having mixed feelings. He's not sure the person sitting is the woman. So one of them had the idea. They had to go top speed, and they use that to threaten him or something. For me, I'm not cool with that, because you can't just someone knowing someone in that person's car. You just drive us. The girl at that moment was very vulnerable to them, because it was three guys against him or her. Yeah. So they exposed her. She was a guy, so she was like a cross-dresser. And seriously, with everything that happened on Snapchat, I'm sure she had slept with 200 guys, because you could see in a group, all of them that are had an encounter with her. They've had this with her. So it just came to my mind, so what's with this people crazy with guys, with our last episode that we did with the Sex 101. There's this guy that sent a message to me on my. He was like, he's not very sure he could do anal. Sorry, guys, if you are listening. So he's not very sure he could do anal, but he can do anal with a girl or something. But her girl is not giving her that thing. So he has wanted to opt out for maybe a guy or something. So he wanted my opinion, but I didn't comment. So I was awake and I was like, okay, so this thing is bringing out a whole lot of stereotypes and all that. And people are exploring their fantasy. And for me, the guy shouldn't have just tricked the street telling them and most of them are using that to imply that they were tricked and all that, and they couldn't identify vagina from anus. And seriously, this topic is mind blowing. Seriously, for me,
So
I
I
was
have
just listening. Okay, you continue.
no, you continue.
Take-
So
take-
I have seen the story. I have read it.
Yeah.
I have seen videos and pictures of the guy, and I must admit that initially the first picture I saw, I couldn't really tell if it was a guy or a lady. I couldn't. He looked the part, because
he looked the part only with his nails and all, but if you have to check the face, if you see a little mustache, and I think he was using, I think what's the name, concealer or something, but you could still see. And most guys were like, when having sex, he would be like, this show off the lights and all that.
Hey.
Like, you guys are so dumb. You guys are so dumb. No romance, no everything, no anything. Just the talking and the seriously.
So honestly, for me, with the picture, I saw it on Twitter, and I didn't really bother to like open it and then like look at it properly. I just looked at it and then that's it. And then later, subsequently, I saw videos and all that. These things, I honestly, if we are being totally honest, these things are actually common.
Yeah, it's common.
Actually, there are things that are. It's common. There are things that are happening, but and that's my issue. For people who are attracted to women with buttocks, they are the ones that they'll be getting them with these things. But for me, no. Yeah, I'm not really a nice guy. I like books. So for me, you can't deceive me with this. Because I want to see it. I want to see it. You can't tell me to turn off the light. And for the people who claim to have had encounter with him, or will claim to have had a sexual this thing with him and still didn't know, I'm finding it a bit hard to believe. Because if you're having sexual intercourse with someone and it's through the anal, you should know. If we are being totally honest, you should know. So with the whole story they are saying, I'm finding really hard to believe it. It's not adding up. Honestly,
and like for someone like they've had an encounter with him for 7 times, and I'm like, oh seriously, please stop there, because on the second time, I'm sure you know. So even if you know, you can't let it go on time. So that means that you like it. So you were always and even with the snap thing, you could see a lot of people are confessing like, oh, they go for head, they go for BJ, and you can see seriously for me, I didn't know he was my friend on Snap until he shared his Snap handle.
What's his handle?
His Snap handle is Cillian22 something, unless I check. It's Cillian22 something. Yeah, I think 2020 something. So
I'm not even consistent on Snap. I don't even have the app on my phone now.
so when they posted it, and I was like, okay, so he was my, and people were like, even if he add you, he will just trick you. Hey. He got most of the guys who were so horny, and most of them were so seriously. And the thing is that for me, I think you should have done anything physical to him, because even with that thing, they can be, for those guys, the three guys, they can be
arrested.
Yeah, you should have done. But for the humiliating part and all that, I felt sorry for him, because one of the things that his friend commented was, he said he wanted to have for Accra straight guys, and I think he had already done it. He has already reached the target, because at Legon, even at UG, University of Ghana, Legon, many guys are like, nah, they've had an encounter with him.
Hey,
Not even
boy.
penetration, just oral, and I'm like, seriously. So that sends me to the question: today modern like most are is dumb. Doctor, take it.
No,
And let's
so oh, sorry, doc. No, I don't think people are well. You know, it's subjective. It's really subjective because I don't think people are dumb, but then I feel people are mostly driven by their sexual desires. So people are so horny that, you know, in the heat of the event, they can't think of anything else. It's like the mind goes blank, and all they care about is how to satisfy their sexual desires. And that's why I feel that, and that's what I feel. That's why I feel most of the people who claim not to have known are actually lying. Most of them
most of them are lying.
They knew,
Yeah,
because they just wanted to, you know, satisfy themselves. They just ignored, and closed a blind eye, closed an eye to it, and yet just went through it. So yeah, people, yes, if it depends on how you put it. It depends on how you put it. Yes, you can say people are dumb, but then they are dumb because yes, they just want to, you know, satisfy themselves. And then also, you know, there are people who actually have no issue with anal sex. There are people, and then there are those that no matter what you do to them, they won't do it. I, for instance, will never do it. I have never done it, and I don't see myself doing it, you know, having anal sex. But then also there are people who see nothing wrong with it. So for such people, of course, they don't care because of already they don't really have any issue with it. You understand? So yeah, they will go on ahead with it and not have an issue with it. But then for people who don't want to do that, because I know someone whose sexual fantasy, the person's wildest sexual fantasy is to have anal sex. You get it? For someone like that who gets the opportunity, the person won't think twice. You get it? So yeah. I think that's just that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. But my issue with the whole matter is that if for people who didn't know, I feel it would have been right for the guy to, you know, be open about it, because in a way it is deception. He has deceived them. You understand?
Oh no. Delali with that, I think they knew, because most of the snaps that the guy was, for me, I thought he was a girl. So mostly, if I check his snap, you can see they are taking him to the gallery,
so you see
and all that, and even with that, you could just see the person, the other, he has snaps with another guy, and the other guy, he's just wearing a towel. His bare chest there. So I think most of them knew, but now that it's in the open, they are trying.
That's what I'm saying. That most knew. However, some also didn't know. And for those who didn't know, of course, ignorance is not an excuse. However, I feel if the person didn't know, you have deceived the person. You understand? For those who have had encounters, those who have had encounters with him more than twice, of course, definitely they knew. But for someone who probably just had a one-off thing with him, most likely didn't know, or probably realized after the whole issue. You understand? So for someone like that, yes, you can argue that the person was deceived. You understand? And then also, listen, if you want to be we know cross dressers. If you want to be a cross dresser, I feel you should let that. Listen, I am a cross dresser. For instance, look at on Martin. We all know on Martin. We all know who he is, but then also we know we know what he is. For that, it is there. Everyone knows he has come out. You understand. So for that one, anyone who who has any, if someone goes on goes ahead to have anything to do with him, then it's because the person wants to, not because the person doesn't know. You understand?
Yeah.
But then in this one,
Yeah.
it looks as if he has been pretending to be something he's not. You understand? And that's the issue. For those who already know you, fine, they know. But then how about those who don't know? You get it? So that's the whole. For me, that's where my issue is. That's where my issue is. But I also feel the way the guys went about the whole thing was not the right way. Was not the right way.
Yeah,
Yes,
because you can just exchange and
money. Just
extort money from the person. And seriously, in one video, I think they took him to the police station, and because of the police people, their ignorance or something, they for them. So I think they should have reprimanded the people who brought them. Like, what have you guys done?
Yeah.
But they didn't, and they left the guy. And I think one of the comments was that one of the police guys hit him. And seriously, you can't do that. You can't do that. And even for me, I was for the first time, I was like, nah. What he did was totally rubbish and all. But if you are to listen to the other street guys, those that they say they are perceived straight guy, you listen to them, you know that nah. I think the guy wanted to show them something because he was in the group that he was. I think most of them are like bunch of honey
drug some honey bastards.
Honey drug honey bastards. So I think the guy wanted to show them something, and I think he has showed them. And one guy was like, they should just heal themselves, and they should just meditate and all that. For those people who didn't know, but for those who knew, for them they knew. Then they chop it. For those who didn't know, they should just heal themselves and just go to the beach and just have Charlie, seriously.
Yeah, honestly, truthfully, I feel for those who didn't know, it's in a way to traumatize them. You understand? It will leave some some influence, some trauma. However, for those already.
Yeah, and Accra is a small place, so you might know someone who also ate it. And the person, I feel sorry for the person. I feel very sorry because the person last 2 weeks was here, but I didn't know it was him. If I had known, I would have, because he was just posting, and he's one of my brother's friend, and he's a little, so he just he got this hookup girl and all that, and one funny thing is that I think what most of the boys should have known was that he or she was
so
with all this STIs going on. You guys are not even perturbed or even afraid and all that. Hey,
boys are doing things. Boys are doing things.
They are doing things. And even with one party, seriously, it's okay. You will continue that one this Friday, Freaky Friday. Because what went on this Easter, this 3 days holiday, seriously. For me, listeners, I don't know where you are, but for me, my place, where I am at the moment, things went on. And we'll be giving you all the tips, hopefully Friday. So subscribe, follow, just listen. You see our podcast, you can just listen and just sleep and just laugh and just enjoy our beautiful voices. Like dry, silky voices. Let me say. So It's just fun always on Melon Sugar Podcast, and it's always been your host. Today, now it's host. It's no longer hosting Koto. It's host.
Delali.
My doctor, the lad. So catch you guys same time on Friday. Friday, let your notification icons on, cause it will be live
Yeah.
Friday. New episode, Freaky Friday, and we'll be giving you all the gist. So, thank you guys for listening. Subscribe, do everything you want to do. Support us anywhere in our description. Just hit that PayPal link and just donate. You can just donate anything to us on SoundCloud or anything. Just hit that thing, that link. Feel our presence, because we are just conquering everywhere. We are on the charts. So see you guys Friday. Have a nice week. Bye.
Bye.